Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Anastasia Chopolis, and today is another episode of Scientific Healing. And as in this series of helping boost your immune system, okay, this has been really important these days. And right now, there are a lot of people that are sending out lots of emails and sales and all kinds of stuff on very expensive solutions, like this is going to help protect you against anything. And the best protection is your body, your own immune system. It is a complex, it's extremely powerful. And today, what I'm going to focus on is the skin. Right, so your skin showing, your skin is the largest organ that you have on your body. Most people don't realize it's an organ, and they also don't realize how complicated it is, right? It is your connection to the outside world through touch, through sensations. You know, it gives us a lot of pleasure when you feel a nice warm breeze on your skin. When there's a lot of heat on it, it can tell you that your body is getting damaged and you feel pain. So you have this connection to the outside world. It is also the way you present yourself, right? It's a major protection from the world. It protects you from bacteria and most other compounds, except for the small molecules like water, which your skin will absorb, which is the way a lot of moisturizers work, right? So you take a shower and then you put something in to seal in the moisture, or you put a moisturizer on that already has it in, and it helps plump the cells up that are right beneath the surface of the skin. That makes you look younger. But the other disadvantage is that other small molecules can get in. For example, acetone, which is very detrimental to your health. It is also a very small molecule. And things like fingernail polish remover have acetone in it. So when you clean your nails off with it, the acetone will soak right into your skin, and it's not healthy for you. And then it makes your liver work really hard to get it off. And of course, I'm guilty of, liking to have my nails nice. And yes, but I don't wear it that often, right? So there are some things that you should be careful of what to put on your skin because it absorbs right in. We mentioned those earlier, like the methylparabens and the sodium lauryl sulfate, which are found as preservatives and foaming agents in skincare products. And what I'd like to talk a little bit about are the functions of the skin. Okay, you have 3 layers, and in one of the layers, of course, that's in the dermis, which is the central layer. The dermis has also your hair. So the texture of your hair, how healthy it is, depends on the health of your skin. And also you want it to look good. And you also don't want it to gray prematurely. You don't want it to wrinkle prematurely. So your skin is your primary protection, as I mentioned. It keeps water, out, but it also keeps germs out. So germs, bacteria, things like that. Even most viruses do not penetrate the skin unless there's a cut, right? And when there's a cut, then all your white blood cells flood immediately to that area to protect, to fight anything off, any of the pathogens that come in. So the other thing, the detoxing part, is it expresses impurities through the pores. So you'll have a lot of fluids in the body, in the lymph, and in the blood. The plasma in the blood will express things out through the pores, especially excess salts and other small chemicals. It helps detox the body. But primarily that sweat is there to cool, right? So you have this furnace, you're burning, anywhere between 1,200 and 3,000 calories. That's a lot of heat in the body. Okay, so if you did not sweat, because sweat evaporates, it is the water evaporating off your body is the most efficient way to remove the heat out of the body. If you did not sweat, and you had no way of radiating out that excess heat, like if you were in like a thermal blanket, for example, that'll keep everything in, your body will go up 25 degrees Fahrenheit in one day. That is a huge temperature rise, and your body stays at 98.6. The healthy body stays at 98.6 plus or minus a little bit depending on you personally, right? So it is there to help regulate the heat. You also expire and evaporate through the lungs, which is another detoxing mechanism. You also aspirate out volatiles that don't belong in your body, like CO2. And you can expire out of your body up to 8 quarts of fluid a day. Okay, most of us will take in anywhere around a gallon. You know, if you eat your fruits and vegetables, that's water. I drink about 3, sometimes 4 of these a day. That's a quart, so that's up to a gallon. Right, so let me talk about the layers of the skin. You have the epidermis. It's a sealed outer covering. It's waterproof, and your skin color and the melanin is in that top epidermis layer. So whether you're, brown skinned or olive skinned or white and pink, depends on the melanin in your skin tone. Then the dermis, which is the next layer down, that has a tough connective tissue. So the dermis needs to have a lot of good connective tissue in order for you not to age prematurely. It's made up of 75 to 80% collagen, right? So collagen, we hear a lot about collagen, but you need to take in a lot of collagen. Most protein is collagen. Most animal protein is collagen. And you can even buy types 1, 2, 3, and 4 collagen. Each one of them depends on whether they come from fish or chicken or beef. Like 1 and 3 is fish and beef collagen, right? So it depends on where they come from, right? And that is where you have your hair follicles and your sweat glands. And then the deep subcutaneous tissues is called the hypodermis. That's underneath the dermis. And that's where that fat layer is. So that subcutaneous fat, that's where the healthier fat is stored, is right under the skin. So anywhere you've got, a thicker layer than a couple of millimeters, that there is a little bit of fat in there. And that fat is in there for storage. Most of your excess is there. And you need to have, men, their minimal fat is 4% body fat, and women is about 10. We need more for some reason. And that is where, you see the people with 6-pack abs and they put their arms up and they have all this, everything bulging, and like all the muscles, the striations of the muscles are showing. Most of us don't like that, and it's really hard to maintain that, so it's good to have it. So these, your skin is also cut down in further layers, but those layers are not necessary to learn about. But there are some things, so this is just what skin is and what it does, but now how do you take care of it? What's the best way to take care of it? It should look good, right? If this doesn't look good, that means that what's going on inside your lungs and your liver and your kidneys and all those things that need to function, your heart, are not also looking good, because what's going on out here is what's going on inside, right? So you can imagine somebody that has smoked a lot of years. So the average smoker cuts down their life, this is what I just read this morning, by 13 years, right? But most of the time we know who they are, because when they smoke, their skin turns, they don't have that healthy pink glow, right? And there's nothing on my skin right now, there's nothing there. This is just my skin. And that getting that healthy pink glow, it means taking good care of it and not having a lot of toxins. If your skin is sallow, lacking moisture, vitality, if you have really dark circles, I tend to have dark circles here, That's because my skin is thinner here, and when I'm tired, it shows, right? And or you're prematurely wrinkled, that there are problems also going on inside the body. And the other thing that you probably didn't realize is how much your skin reflects your emotions, right? When somebody is happy or if they're embarrassed, you see them turn bright red. If they're angry, a lot of times you can see they go white. Like I had a former father-in-law, he would go white and his eyes would go down to little pinpoints. And the blue eyes that he had bright blue eyes. The blue eyes he had would go dark. It was really interesting to watch because he got angry really easily. He had a trigger temper. So you can also, if you're afraid, your skin will go cold, right? And you'll break out into a sweat. If you're really cold, you'll get goosebumps. The goosebumps are there to start that's caused by little muscles all through the skin. The more you move your muscles, the warmer you get. And you also will, sweating if you're nervous. So one of the themes that comes up over and over, so this is just what's there and how important your skin is to the outside world. And so the theme that comes up over and over again for skin is the emotional connection, right? So a theme that comes up over and over with people that have skin issues like eczema and psoriasis and rosacea, all those skin issues that show up, a lot of times calming the emotions down can help relieve it. Can't get rid of it completely. There's other things to do for that, but it will relieve it so the flare-ups don't happen so often, right? So one of the themes that comes up often with those with skin issues is whether you are congruent with yourself. And I know this issue very well because when you have an inner conflict, meaning you want this, but you're doing actions that get you that. That's an inner conflict, right? So an inner conflict is you want a lean body, but you keep eating. Inner conflict is you want to be rich, but you don't do anything. You just don't help produce income, or you don't save it, right? You want to be rich, but you spend it all. Every bit you have in your pocket, you spend it all. That's an inner conflict. You want one thing, but all your actions give you something else. You want to be healthy, but all your actions give you an unhealthy body. So, so each day you take yourself out in some way. So you're taking yourself out and it reflects on your skin. So a lot of skin issues are related to that emotional inner conflict. And then the other one is hypervigilance, right? So a lot of us, like I'm extreme introvert, and I don't do very well in big crowds. I can go in a big crowd, be there for a while, but after a couple of hours, I need to retreat and collect myself again and find my center because I feel everybody's emotions. I'm highly, what do you want to call it, clairsentient. I'm an empath. I can feel everybody's emotions and I need to back off, let everything settle, and then I can jump back in the fray, right? So the emotional connection to being that hypervigilant will give skin problems. If you're nervous or you're upset or you're scared or you're under a lot of stress, you can produce more oil. It'll cause you to break out. It'll worsen eczema. It'll trigger cold sores. And one psychological study showed that 45% of the patients with psoriasis had anxiety. So the first thing, of course, is to get calm. So the stress causes, we talked about adrenals already in this series, is that the adrenal glands produce a lot of cortisol. That cortisol brings about the extra stress. That extra stress shows right up on your skin. So the first thing is to use a meditation, a healing audio, some deep breathing, mini meditation where you straighten your spine up, pull your shoulders back, and take some nice deep breaths. I have a little 11-minute meditation at scientifichealer.com/wake up brain, right? And so that also alters the brain chemistry to have different responses to the stress. So it kind of works as a double to help the skin. So here are I have 4 tips for helping your skin get healthy. 4 things where you don't have to really work extra hard to calm yourself down and to start thinking of other things. I'm going to talk about that on Thursday. Emotional tricks, tips and tricks to help get you out of that stress. Because I went through some of the most stressful times in my life after I got very, very sick. I went through a very contested or very difficult divorce, and I was supporting my 2 children on my own with not enough salary, and I moved them around the world together while I was that sick. So, I went through a lot of stress, and I learned a lot of things to help relieve the stress. So we'll talk more about that on Thursday, because it does affect your immune system, and it affects it drastically. We want to help that. So the first tip is, of course, sleep and exercise. Of course, if you're not sleeping very well, it's very difficult, but I find that if I take walks, I take 2 one-hour walks every day. If I take a walk, even a 20-minute walk, if you're not used to it, will help relieve the brain and the craziness to help you sleep better. And I find if I don't get enough exercise, I simply do not sleep. And if you are having trouble sleeping, there is a whole other set of tips and tricks. I think it's the NIH, National Institute of Health, puts out a little pamphlet on how to get better sleep. You can look it up. I'll provide a link to it in the article that I will eventually publish here. And so the exercise helps you sweat out toxins, and it also stimulates the lymph system, which helps move the toxins out, right? Second thing is healthy foods you can eat to help nourish your skin. And these are particularly helpful for improving skin health. Leafy dark greens like spinach, kale, and collards. That includes vitamins A, C, E, omega-3s, and protein. Eggs. Eggs is really great for skin because it really feeds the hair. So the hair is mostly made out of sulfur amino acids. And the yolk of an egg has a lot of sulfur amino acid. If your hair is not growing very well, there's 2 things. Check your thyroid, number 1. And number 2, make sure you get your sulfur amino acids. If you are allergic to eggs and can't eat eggs, you need to find alternatives. All right. 3 is flax seeds, because they have high omega-3 and selenium. Both of those are very helpful. If you can stand legumes like lentils and chickpeas. And then avocados or other healthy fats, monounsaturated fats, macadamia nuts, olive oil, avocados, and make sure it's extra virgin olive oil, right? So those are those things. And drinking a lot and all of these will start making your skin healthier. I do a lot of, this is my typical diet. I have about that much spinach every morning. 3-4 ounces of raw spinach. And I put it in. I have what I call my rocket fuel. It has a lot of antioxidants. It has the adaptogens in it. It has a high-end protein powder, organic, vegan protein powder, and all kinds of goodies in it. raw carrot, wild blueberries, everything organic, and a little bit of zucchini, right? So drinking a lot of water. So all those vegetables, especially if they're raw, will provide a lot of water. They contain a lot of water. So supplements, aside from drinking a lot of water, is eating extra collagen with hyaluronic acid. There have been ads in the paper lately about hyaluronic acid. Yes, it works. I get a supplements liquid hyaluronic acid with extra blueberry, whatever extract in it. And I put a scoop and sometimes have 2 scoops of collagen a day. It makes a difference. Everyone that I've told that to have noticed that the lines that they're seeing underneath are plumping out and their skin is smoothing out. That means that the skin is getting healthier from the inside out. Putting all that stuff on your skin doesn't do diddly squat, right? It's from the inside out, not the outside in. You can moisturize it, right when you take a shower and put the stuff on to make it look better. But it doesn't do nearly as much as the hyaluronic acid plus collagen. Good supplements include antioxidants like vitamin C. And the last thing is to help move your body into the parasympathetic state. So the sympathetic state is when you are in reaction mode, right? And the parasympathetic state is when you are calm and you're in action mode instead. So that calmness is helpful with meditation, movement, and just like I said, when you have a tiger in a cage, when they're upset, you'll watch them pace back and forth, back and forth. Animals will dissipate their nervous energy. And that's what we should do, but a lot of us will sit still and watch TV or whatever. I'm guilty of that as well. So there are the 4 tips. So the first tip is sleep and exercise. The second is those healthy foods like the leafy dark green veggies and eggs with protein, flax seeds, legumes, avocados, and other oils. Then supplements include the collagen and hyaluronic acid. And then last, moving into the parasympathetic state. I hope this was really helpful today because this will make your skin look young really fast. You'll notice a difference within 2 to 3 days. If you start drinking more water, I know it's really tough because when you drink a lot of water, you have to go to the bathroom a lot. That's why I can't get old people to drink water. They don't want to get up. My dad especially, he does not want to get up. It's a struggle for him. He's turning 89 next month, right? So drinking a lot of water is really helpful. And you'll notice almost immediately, especially if you add the hyaluronic acid and the collagen, because your skin is, your epidermis, your dermis is 70% collagen, will really improve. And the collagen is what helps bind the skin together so it doesn't sag. So thank you. This is all I have for today. Please connect with me. I have a full-fledged program. This is just an itty-bitty part of it. One of the chapters on skin. We did energy healing on skin. The energy healing on skin is, I call it energetic botox, because right as soon as you get it, it smooths everything out, because all the muscles below the skin that causes that, like these lines up here that people get, right? They'll have lines all the way across the forehead like that. I don't have them. I just have one little one. And I'm turning 68 shortly. So I'm doing pretty good, I think. And don't you want people to walk up to you and say, you're how old? What? Okay, so you can connect with me at scientifichealer.com/appointment to find out more about those programs that I mentioned. I also have some very inexpensive and free programs that you can look at and, be in. And I just about have them all up on my website. I've been adding a little bit every day. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. Share it with your friends and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have a YouTube channel that has like all of the stuff that I've been doing over the last 3 or 4 years. There's about 200 videos up there. So appreciate you being here. You have a great day, and I will see you here, same place, same time.